If you are in your 30s, you want to do this. And it's really simple. Just stop watching other content. Just stop listening other people who you don't know and start listening yourself. And what I mean by this is I have observed a very drastic change in my life in last 5 to 7 years, and it has all come down very quietly, very sneaky, I would say. And everything what I'm talking about now, it's been very clear for me for a long time, and it's been some of my promises for myself, which actually have deprecated in many ways, and I have forgotten, or I've been consumed with something else. And what is this something else? It's everything you see in online media, social media, podcasts, influencers, etc. The fact that you are even watching this, I appreciate it, but if you look for any type of advice out there, there is a plenty of good advice, but if in any level you are stuck, you should not do it. And what I can say that it can really happen very, like I say, very sneaky way, where you almost all this social media, almost the screens, the videos, the content you watch, it is like little hammered and chips parts of you out of all the time. And what you knew to be true previously is still in there in the core, but you somehow lost the bits of it. And those bits you have to gather, those bits you have to remember, those bits you have to integrate back to yourself. And the most powerful way is to stop chipping those bits away from you. And the second, well, that's probably the second fastest, and the fastest way is to come back to yourself and start listening yourself. Start believing yourself. When you don't feel good about someone, when you don't feel good about something, don't go for it. When your intuition and your inner voice say this, follow that. When you are unsure, go to silence and see what comes up. It might be just one simple message that you can go forward with. And once you do this every day, you start discovering this inner wisdom that you have within you. And if you are in your 30s, and if you are younger than that, I see a lot of younger people, they might have much more awareness or much more open mind in some concepts. You know, the world is constantly changing. But what I would say that I cannot even believe or imagine how difficult the life has been where people have grown up from the younger early age, let's say from the school age, with social media, with all this information bombarding into their head. And now what I can really speak well is the age bracket of 30s, and something that you might not really realize, that you have grown differently. You have grown out of these influences of carrying a phone in your pocket, being exposed all the time on this information 24/7, whenever you need it, whenever it is it's always available. And that media that you can consume all the time, it really does consume you. And I think the difference where you have grown up and when you've been more on an adulthood and been introduced this on the adulthood, the change I think can be much more subtle in a way that suddenly you are exactly consumed by the devices, and in the deep down you know something totally different and you want to go something totally different, but you lost control, and you might be even wondering why. You might not even have the connection to those devices. That's the reason. And yes, of course, you can argue many other things. It's whether that's the lifestyle you have, or the food that you eat, or the relationship you have in the around you. But I think all of those are also so heavily influenced with the media that you consume, the time that you spend around your devices. Because every time we listen to someone, watch some videos, whether that's even productive advice or it's just the brain rot, you are betraying yourself. You are escaping. You are not meeting yourself in the silence, in the solitude, and let those emotions come on the surface and just see what is underneath. And once you do this, let's say you do this gradually, even in the adulthood, and you climb, maybe if you are in 30s, you climb the ladder of when you went to studies, or you just entered in your career in the work. And unfortunately, you were the early on adopters of this technology as well, and no one had a good boundaries, no one had a good knowledge. Still, people don't have a good knowledge. We have a lot of evidence, but the algorithms are just way too strong, and the lifestyle choices are easy ones, and people don't do the hard lifestyle choices, and that's where they have easy choices and hard life. And this could be one of the most powerful thing you can do, and what I'm personally experimenting with. So for me right now is just creating. I'm pushing this way. I'm putting this way. I'm radiating out. I'm not sucking in. I'm not just sucking in. I'm definitely, I want to grow, but I think the growth can come from there. Growth can come from inside out. Exposing myself to different people, exposing myself to new experiences, where I will experience something, and the experience can be negative or positive, however you want to take it. But then, how do I integrate? How do I form a perspective about that? Is the way that I can grow. It's not that I'm sucking in information. I'm reading something or I'm listening podcast, and then I think it's in me, because information is just information. Otherwise, everyone would be millionaires. So it's what you do and how do you integrate that information, and what better way than just first of all be with yourself, to listen what's inside of you, what kind of wisdom is inside of you already, and then also going for it, going for the life, going for your fears. Those are almost like a goalpost for you to follow where you should be going, and then you can experience life, you can make mistakes, you can meet new people, and the growth happens, and then the life happens as well. Then the enjoyment happens. and I'm even just getting energy just by doing this. I'm just observing what comes out of me. What are these thoughts I'm spitting out in the air right now, and it's so freeing. It's like it's definitely what we have lost in the grand scale of society. We have this in this golden age where everything is available. That's true, everything is available, but there's so much more restrictions now than ever. Things are getting more I mean restrictions in a way as well, that it's not necessary that somebody physically blocks you or somebody do this and that. It's that those restrictions are much more subtle ones, and restrictions are in the behaviors and in our thinking patterns and in our inability to feel the emotions. And the cage, it's like invisible one. It's invisible one of social conditioning, how you should behave, so you don't do it. It's these algorithms that feed you something to keep you entertained, but they keep you locked. Actually, it's this freely available content, let's say corn, that it's available in the internet for you free to enjoy, but it strips you your ability to express and experience like a real connection and love. And yes, these restrictions, they are I think that's why it's always say that the next war, the current war, really is like a spiritual war, psychological war. Is that how do we as humans, how do we not limit ourselves and just express ourselves more freely, experience the life more freely. So for all of my ramble, what I hope that you could take it away is really consider how your life looks when you soak up so much content from the internet. If all of that time you did not, and you spend it time for yourself, in the longer run, how much you could discover about yourself, even in your 30s or 40s or however old you are, how much you could discover about yourself and world if you are just going for it. If you go outwards, I mean to go in, but to go in so you can flow out, and not out that you could flow in, because if you from outside you just go in with the outside information, you really keep yourself locked in, and not in even that sense that you are truly meeting yourself in the place of acceptance, silence, truth. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, I'll have your feedback, and we see you again.